Erev Tov Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live, and I tell you what, friends, the situation in Israel right now is very, very serious. It is equivalent to racial riots going on. In fact, a good friend of mine, Chris, in Israel, has been telling me about this for a couple of days now, that even the freeways have been shut down as a result of the riots. All this got sparked by a young black man that was shot and killed by a plainclothes police officer that started this rioting. And I want to kind of share with you a little bit of this here. This is from a Twitter page here showing a gang of black, well, it's not just black either. This is one thing that kind of bugs me when they it appears to be more of the black Jewish population, not just Jewish, but also the black people that have been brought in as refugees into the country there against white. But if you can look in the photo here, there are also white people in this group as well. And these are people that are standing up to the injustices that they believe, or at least, and I have to clarify, I don't know which side is right on this, but what they believe to be as an injustice to the black community. So therefore I can't say which side is right on this case here, but in here I'll show you the video footage here. This man in this car here, they are working, that guy just pounding on his front windshield there. He slams on his brake, throws the guy off the car, but then they just start jumping on the car, trying to knock his windows out, beating on the windows with their fists and stuff. And these types of riots that are happening in Israel are happening everywhere. It's been going on for a couple of days now. That you got also the Israeli police here involved here, and again trying to bring the crowds under control and everything. They've got riot police out everywhere, whether it be on horseback, whether it be on foot, etc. Throwing a lot of stun grenades are being thrown into the crowds there to try to disperse the crowds, and it's not looking good. And some of the comments that I've been getting myself privately, it is more of a racial type of an issue there. But we just saw a guy there filming there. They threw him out. They don't want them. They don't want people filming it. They don't want people seeing what's really going on. And granted, because when you're trying to deal with a situation, it's going to get ugly. It's much like it is over in France. So there's a lot of different footage out there about things like this. Let me just quickly, I'll go back, I'll pull up Israel once again, and you can see for yourself there that there's just a lot of footage going on about this. By the way, too, Israel is also unveiling a Roman road claiming Jesus walked to reach the temple in Jerusalem. That's actually something that was found back in 2004, but it's just now they're starting to unveil that situation there. Let me put Israel in riots just to share that information more with you guys, what's going on right there. Besides a 6.4 earthquake in Los Angeles, or outside of Los Angeles, happened today as well. Yeah, they're showing right there in this picture here, the cars being set ablaze. That's also going on. Let's see. Just all types of images. Again, the same car there, a fire being burnt there. That's down in Tel Aviv right there. I can just tell by the background there. I'm pretty familiar with that area there. Police car being rolled over. I'll tell you what, this happened once before in Israel. It's been quite a number of years ago where the unrest got really bad there. And it took a while for the trust to be built back up with the police there. Here we go again, another just a brawl with the police there in Israel there. And I'm not quite sure where that's at there. Again, probably in Tel Aviv. Yeah, they're throwing all kinds of things at the police and stuff like that. So it's a situation that's getting out of hand. A lot of elderly women in this crowd as well, you can see in there. So I don't know how this is going to go yet, friends. This is, yeah, the elderly women throwing stuff at them as well. Whopping the police. Oop, that's not going to go over too good. But anyway, very serious situation happening in Israel right there with these riots there. And again, it all got started over the shooting and killing of a young man that happened by a plainclothes police officer. So I don't know exactly which direction this is all going to go into, but we wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys so you can see what's going on. But South California shaken by a 6.4 magnitude earthquake we saw earlier today there. This came out on, and I'm just happy to pick it up here on BBC News there, where they're reporting about it, knocking a lot of things off the store shelves, things like that. You know, they actually show a Twitter link on that right there. 6.4 is a pretty good size earthquake, and it was about 150 kilometers from Los Angeles where this quake actually hit at, though. So that was Nick, I can't pronounce his last name, Graehl, the Twitter account they shared with him there. And it was 12 kilometers southwest of Sierrale's Valley, the 6.4 earthquake that happened there. And another thing I thought would be a little interest to you guys, and I bring this up a lot because of Damascus being destroyed, and how that Syria, the oldest Christian community in the world, is in Syria. So here President Assad is being greeted by Christian young people Christian group there in Syria there, and as you can see, President Assad very welcomed amongst the Christians of Syria there. And I think this is actually a Catholic organization there of some sort. I'm not really sure exactly what particular faith they are in this group right here, but nonetheless, it's the oldest known Christians in the Middle East there is in Syria. Yeah, this is what it says, Syrian Syriac Catholic Youth Camp. I'm not sure what that is actually considered to be. Tehran is also up in arms over the situation of an oil tanker that was seized, that was headed for Syria. And, you know, that just kind of reminds me of not only a New World Order, but like Mark of the Beast. You can't buy or sell, saving you do whatever they tell you to do. And that's exactly what we see with the world powers there. If you don't obey the world order that they want it to have, you don't buy, you don't sell, you don't transport your oil, I don't care how big your country is and what kind of military you have, you either go along with the plan or you'll be shut down. And pretty much anything the United States leads the way in, that's the way it happens. And also, I did not pull this up, but maybe I can pull it up real quick. President Putin met with Pope Francis there today. And not only did he meet with Pope Francis, but I think it was Pompeo as well met with the Pope of Rome. But anyway, that was 12 hours ago. Pope Francis, for the third time they met together. That makes you wonder what is actually happening. What is happening between these two men for them to be meeting together? Is this to avert a third world war? Or is there something else going on? Are they preparing something? But I believe it was Mike Pompeo. Let me just pull that up real quick as well. That met with the Pope of Rome. May be wrong on that, but okay. I guess not, though. Let me just see. Maybe put Pope Francis only, and then might pull up somebody else that he met with there. So we see Putin met with him. Putin arrives in the Vatican for a meeting with Pope Francis. Right now, all eyes seem to be on Putin and the Pope there. And talks between President Putin and Pope Francis. The two leaders have similar point of views on several international issues, particularly Iran and Venezuela. And it may be that President Putin was trying to garner support by the pontiff in order to flex his role in world decisions when it comes to these two countries here. Not really sure on that, though, and I was hoping to see what the other leader was that met with him, but somebody had passed it on to me, but I forget who it was. But anyway, today it was President Putin, so we'll kind of have to wait and see what's going to go on, how that will come out, what spin will that be on there. At any rate, I'm going to have to cut this kind of short. My wife, Yana, is doing an interview this evening here at 9 p.m. Don't know if it'll air tonight or tomorrow. It'll be an audio interview there. So I'll be sharing that with you guys later. We did load the up on Patreon the broadcast we did earlier this week on the Steve and Yana chat. That is now up on Patreon. and we will be continuing to upload more. I still have all my frames open for this message that I want to share with you guys. I just have not recorded as of yet, so pray for me that I can do that tomorrow. As you can see on the screen behind, well, you probably can't see it on this type of live broadcast, but I've got about 12 Bible verses sitting up there on the screen just waiting to share some things with you that's on my heart. Anyway, blessings to you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support of the broadcast and the ministry. We do thank you very, very much. Erev Tov.